When the new supply wakes up, think about that for a minute. So you now realize that you were the new supply for a period of time. Every single person who was targeted by the narcissist was a supply source. Now, some of the supply sources are short term. Some are for a couple minutes, some are for a couple hours. Some are one-time meetings with the narcissist, and I can explain that in a moment. And others are longer term encounters with the narcissist. Any way you cut it, this is what fuels the narcissist. It's supply. It is what people do for the narcissist. It is how people protect the narcissist, how people make excuses for the narcissist, and of course, how people stay tethered or stuck to the narcissist. These people, the toxic people, yes, the narcissists, they have mastered the illusion of caring about other people. More and more people now on the planet are beginning to realize that not only does the narcissist not care about them, but that the narcissist never cared about them, not even for 1 second. And that these people, and I'm one of them, and you most likely are one of them, you were used, you were tricked, you were trapped, you were hoodwinked, manipulated, you were blamed, you were shamed. You could do nothing right after the love bomb stage ended. And once the love bomb was over, meaning once the narcissist got as close to you as they needed to get, that's when you could do no right. That's when you entered the devaluation stage. Now, the devaluation stage is the second leg of the narcissistic abusive cycle. That's when you're not getting the cute emojis. That's when the narcissist is not cooking or cleaning. That's when the narcissist is unavailable. That's when they're leaving your house extremely dirty and they're not keeping their plans with you. Example, let's say tonight's Saturday, and actually it is, and let's say in the past you would have plans with the narcissist. Well, maybe you had plans at 7. Well, maybe they wouldn't show up till 8:30. Maybe they wouldn't show up at all. Maybe they would claim that they didn't have cell phone service. Who knows what they would do, but when they were devaluing you, what they were doing was they were getting supply from punishing you for being you. Simultaneously, I can assure you, they were grooming other sources of supply, or they were with other people. So when the new supply wakes up, this is a big when or if. You need to remember that you figured it out. You cracked the code. You found out what narcissism was, and now you're learning about it. The new supply, the odds are that the new supply won't be as fortunate as you. Now you may think, well, wait, what are you talking about? The new supply, they can use the internet just like I did to figure out what narcissism is. You would be correct, but they have to jump through a lot of hoops, of which you've already jumped through many of them, to get to the point to where you are right now. And this is the main part of this video, and I will jump into it right here. First of all, when you were in the relationship, you entered the relationship with the narcissist. You were a clean slate. You didn't know narcissism. They knew who you were. They knew who they were, and they knew they could toy with you and manipulate you. I'm talking about the narcissist. So once they got their claws or their dirty fangs sunken into you, it was too late for you. You spent the next period of your life, maybe it was a day, week, month, year, decade, or decades, trying to figure out what was going on and how you could never catch a break with this person. How come they were always punishing you or blaming you, etc. Well, eventually, that relationship that you were a part of, yes, with the narcissist, it expired, because each and every one of these relationships has an expiration date, just like that carton of milk in your fridge that you haven't thrown out in 2 weeks, and you should probably do it because the fridge may be a little stinky now. That's what happens with a narcissistic relationship. They all expire. They all get sour. They all get old. Why? Not because of you, because the narcissist needs to break relationships, and they need to steal hopes, dreams, aspirations, goals from people. So when you were in the devaluation stage, you were trying to fix an unfixable relationship. The narcissist knew that. They also knew that the clock was ticking, that they would discard you or string it out as long as they needed to until they got your replacement lined up. Now, stay with me. When that relationship ended, number one, it ended when it was supposed to. Number two, yes, if the relationship ended for you recently, you're probably still thinking that you wish it didn't end. But truth of the matter is, the best thing that ever happened to you is getting away from these people as fast as you can and as far as you can. Now, if you're not ready for that yet, tough pill to swallow, but it's true. Having said these things, once the relationship ended, and if your relationship ended years ago, you know what I'm talking about. One of the best things ever happened is when you went no contact and blocked that person, deleted them, removed them, and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. Then after time, after you were discarded or after the relationship ended, you began to learn the definitions in the dictionary or the glossary on the narcissistic abusive cycle. Example, You learned what gaslighting was. You learned what peace and quiet were. You learned what narcissism was. You learned what financial abuse was. You learned what blame shifting was, triangulation, on and on and on. As you were learning those key terms and experiences that you went through, you coupled these definitions with your experiences, and then that equaled wisdom. This is a newfound wisdom that you've acquired. It's a superpower, and it's a superpower on steroids when you wrap your head around the fact that very few people will ever understand not only what I'm talking about, but what you went through. All right. Now, as you were healing, what happened? You became stronger. As you got stronger, the narcissist was not living in your mind as much any longer. They definitely weren't living in your mind rent-free. And eventually, one day you woke up and you weren't even thinking about them, which means over time, you healed. Now, to get from point A to point B, which means the discard to healing, it will take time. It will take a lot of time. In your time, you will heal when you utilize the tools that I provide for you with each and every video I create, and from all the amazing, intuitive, insightful, and inspirational comments from each and every one of you all over the world. Now, I'm going to tie it all together. Each and every one of us who made it this far in the video, we were targeted by the narcissist. We were the new supply. I've healed. You are healing, or you've healed. And once you see behind the mask and you heal, then you realize that getting away from said person is one of the best decisions you will have ever made. And once you close the chapter of the book on the narcissist, you will never, ever take a peek at it again, which means you need to leave them in your rear view mirror and keep on ascending and accelerating and getting higher and higher away and further away from the narcissist, because where they're going is nowhere near where you're going. Or I'll flip it. Where you're going, they can't go. Okay. Now, having said those things, think of all the hoops you had to jump through to get to where you are right now, just like I did. You had to A, be born, B, make it so far in life, C, deal with a whole lot of micro narcissists throughout your life, maybe even macro. Then you met the apex predator, the 800-pound gorilla. Then you were trapped in the narcissistic abusive cycle, spinning around for days, weeks, months, years, or longer. Then you were discarded. Then you had to figure out what narcissism was. Then you slowed your life down. Then you stayed in the cocoon of boundaries. Then you began to heal. Then you realized that the relationship wasn't as bad as you thought it was. It was 1,000 times worse. Then you finally went no contact, blocked that person, and you began to heal really, really diligently. As you were doing that, what happened? Everything in your life changed. It all transformed. No longer was your money going down the drain to fuel the narcissist's vices or the narcissist's addictions. No longer were you paying for other things for the narcissist, example, their Amazon packages or their gas or their electricity bill or their phone or their rent, whatever it was. Everything was flipped back into you. And the narcissist was now out of your life, or at least that's my hope. So you think about what I just shared with you. You had a monumental, huge experience to get to be born on this planet called Earth, all the way to meet the narcissist. And that's not where it stopped. That's where it started. Then you were trapped. Then when you got out, you had to put yourself back together. The rest is history. Here you are. That is my experience in a nutshell. And I just barely glossed over it because a 20-minute video can't do it justice. Having said that, you need to remember how strong you are. You need to recognize how brave you are and how determined you were to break the cycle, to become the generational curse breaker, which is either what you've done or what you're doing, just like I've done. Okay, enough of setting the stage. If you picked apart any one of those 15, 20 things I just mentioned, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, that's what the new supply will have to do. Now, for the new supply to do what you did, they're going to have to be one hell of a very resilient person. Not the best English, but you get my point. They're going to have to be cut from a similar cloth than the way you're cut. They're going to have to be someone similar to you. Is the new supply similar to you? I can't tell you. What I can tell you is this fingerprint is what makes you you. This is what makes me me. The new supply is a different fingerprint. Their DNA is different than you. They may never escape the narcissistic fog. They may never break the trauma bond. They may never even live another day, week, month, year. Who knows what will happen to them? What I'm trying to share with you, and I'm doing my best to describe this to you very simply, because I could really unplug and talk a lot faster, but I'm really trying to slow this down so you understand it, and because sometimes I can talk quick, is that the new supply is in for a world of hurt any way you cut it. The new supply is only one of three people. They can only be one of three people. One, they're a toxic person like the narcissist, or maybe even worse. Two, they are a recycled source of supply, someone who was already trapped in the cycle and didn't figure it out and didn't heal and hasn't gone no contact. Or three, they will be a clean slate, just like you were, or just like I was, someone who was naive, vulnerable, has a high level of empathy, wore your heart on a sleeve, and wanted to be in a relationship and help people grow, etc. Most likely, the person that the narcissist is targeting is person number 3. Although it could be number 2, and of course, many times it's number 1. But any way you look at it, the new supply may never wake up. You see, you woke up. When I say wake up, I'm not referring to you were sleeping and you woke up. I'm referring to you are now in the third version of you, the strongest, most galvanized version of you known to humankind. I coined this expression and created it almost 6 years ago. Here's what it is again in a nutshell. The first version of you is who you were before you met the narcissist. You were naive, you were vulnerable, high level of empathy probably, and you didn't know narcissism existed. It's no wonder you were targeted. The second version of you is who you became when you were trapped in the low vibrational state with the narcissist. That's when you were being peppered with abuse, inundated with toxicity, manipulated 24/7, 365, 366, counting leap year. Okay, the third version of you is, as I've shared for years, it's the strongest, most galvanized version of you known to humankind. This is the version of you that has healed or is healing. This is the version of you who's gone no contact. This is the version of you who is crystal clear in the mind. This is the version of you who sees things and can read energy. And you now have boundaries. You now know to trust your instincts, trust your intuition, pay attention to red flags should you see them, embrace green flags when they cross your path. But now you know that narcissism exists. You've been through the cycle, perhaps even more than once, and now you're out. When you're out, you stay out, and you've gone no contact. Yes, I've said it 2 or 3 times. The whole point of this video is to let you know, when you're in the third version of you, that's where you stay. Listen to the quiet and the peace here where I am right now. Doesn't get any better than that. No wind, birds, beautiful lush greenery, all Mother Nature's flow all around me. There's no screaming. There's no glasses being thrown at my head. There's no rage fits in my right ear when I'm on the freeway going 80 miles an hour. There is no doors being slammed if I didn't say that. There's no piled up dishes in the sink. There is no being ignored for 3 days on end. There's no silent treatment being given. There's no selective hearing. There's no triangulation. There's no being hung up on. There's no being walked 50 feet in front of. There's no financial abuse. See, this is called abundance. This is called peace. This is called the high vibrational state. And this is where the narcissist will never be able to get to, ever. You see, if the narcissist finds something that is authentic or genuine, what they want to do is insert 2 sticks of dynamite in it and blow it up. They want to crush it, destroy it. That's what the narcissist does. They tried their best to destroy you, but they failed. Yes, they failed over and over and over again. You thought they were winning. They weren't winning. Truth be told, they're one big massive loser. All they do is keep on chalking up losses after losses after losses. The one common denominator in the narcissistic abusive cycle, it's not you, it was never you, it never will be you, it's the narcissist. And that's why you need to realize that the new supply may never wake up. The odds are that they won't wake up, meaning they won't figure out what you figured out. That's why you need to understand placing your attention, your energy back into yourself, healing properly, maintaining your boundaries, implementing no contact, and understanding that, yeah, you're a different type of person, but you are rare. You are extremely powerful, and now you have this superpower. With the newfound superpower comes great responsibility. I don't say that lightly. I've also said that for 6+ years in videos. I know what it's like to have the responsibility and to have the ability to read energy. If you would have asked me this years ago, I would have said, I think that you don't know what you're talking about, and I don't even know what you're talking about. Now, this is what I do. Because I've been transformed. I am in the third version of me. And what I would like to do is help you arrive at the third version of you. And how to do that is by taking the first step and by going no contact and understanding that you, in fact, are stronger than you know. And that if where you are right now is where you want to be, stay where you are. If where you are is not where you want to be, it means there's work to be done. But no matter how you cut it, you need to believe in yourself, and you need to continue to understand that this is but one day in the journey, and this is your journey. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. A couple quick things before I close the video. Number one, remember something. Whoever this new supply is, they are going to get equal or worse than you experienced, no matter what you think. Number two, it will not end well for the new supply. Number three, your energy and attention should be flipped around back into yourself. Because remember, what the narcissist wants to do is misdirect you, misdirect your energy, misdirect your time, misrepresent themselves, and they want everybody thinking that they're living their best life. They are not living their best life. They don't know how to do that. What they know how to do is destroy other people's best lives. So that's why the new supply may never, and I do mean never, wake up. I hope they do, but that's their journey. I have my journey, and you are on your journey. I love you all, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.